That's a great point. Like, why doesn't they do like a Moneyball style behind the scenes of there's too much. I'm sure there's too much inside baseball handshakes, like the way deals get made.
Baseball's so scared of technology.
Nah. I watched last night. It just happened to be on. I think it came after the Braves game. I was watching, and they'll show clips of podcasts of Mookie Betts' podcast.
Yeah,
I think Mookie Betts is a phenomenal baseball player.
Yes.
One of the generational talent. Right? He has the most boring podcast.
It's so bad.
I was like, what? How?
You're so exciting
baseball,
on the field.
If I may step into the world of you do a terrible job of selling yourself baseball. Such a terrible job.
One of the
narratives.
Worst.
Like you're not for the it's like you need help.
It's almost like baseball despises their fans.
Yeah.
And like despises their.
That's fine. What would you do differently?
For our starters, Mookie Betts podcast, you know how like a lot of these basketball podcasts, there's like a de facto host that's with you. Get somebody who has real charisma in the podcast to help drive the conversation.
Is it an MLB podcast?
I think it's a Bleacher Report.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's Mookie and another player.
Yeah, which can be fine.
Yeah.
But that's not the MLB marketing themselves. What could the MLB do to engage younger fans? I'm genuinely curious as someone who lives in this space.
You find guys that actually have personality and you put them everywhere.
Bring back This Week in Baseball.
That's an easy one.
Bring back This Week in Baseball.
Okay.
Like, that's real simple.
Bring back This Week in Baseball. Get rid of these ridiculous blackout restrictions. Like, Iowa has 0 professional teams. 5 teams are blacked out in Iowa.
Dude, I agree that that is key. The fact that I can't watch the Braves,
yes,
as a former season ticket holder is asinine.
Obviously this is not my world, and there's a lot of logistics to it. But to me, it's like make baseball obtainable, like make it easy to access.
I think they tried to take a Monday Night Football approach to like an NFL approach, and they just don't understand the dynamics. There's so many fewer NFL games that you can do that.
You can make it
you can make it this thing that like I watch every Sunday Night Football game, every Monday Night Football game, and it is a little bit inconsequential to if I'm a fan of those teams.
Right.
That I'm going to get as much football as I can while it's here.
Yeah. I think football does a good job of selling itself as an event. I think baseball tries itself as an event. But really, it's a story, right?
It's a long story.
So how do you get people engaged? Sell the storylines.
Yeah.
None of the storylines are sold.
Yeah, it's a chapter book.
It's a chapter book, but they're like, no, it's an event. It's like, not on a Tuesday at 7. It's not.
It would be interesting if they did a Hard Knocks, like how they do the in-season Hard Knocks, where like if you're like, I don't want to watch the games, but I will watch this kind of like evolving storyline that feels more like a movie, if people would tune in more into that world of it.
You got to have personalities.
Yeah.
And again, Mookie Betts, it was so bad. And I genuinely think he's a great player.
And an exciting player, too.
Is the language barrier an issue for baseball now that there's so many players that genuinely don't speak English?
Could be, but even the ones that do.
The only reason I would push back on that a little bit is because the NBA has Jokic, Giannis.
They all speak very good.
Yeah,
English.
They all speak very good. English.
They speak very good.
There's no interpreter,
and they love their sit. They like Giannis owns Milwaukee. Like they are on. They love this.
Yeah,
but I'm saying you can showcase guys who don't speak English. Still, you can still put them in commercials. You can still give them signature shoes. You can still like but the fact that the only baseball silhouette shoe-wise that I can think of is Griffey. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, Derek Jeter, as much as I cannot stand him, shortstop in New York, maybe the most recognizable Yankee of all time.
Oh, for certain.
Literally such a sex symbol that he was giving girls gift baskets after one night stands.
I don't know that curly. I feel like you were just throwing jabs there, but keep going.
But I'm saying, but
that
didn't have anything to do with talking about.
But I'm saying like with the Jordan, that was his reputation like off the field. So like
what's the point?
He's a player off the field.
Okay.
He's a player on the field. He's with the Jordan brand.
Yeah.
Not a single signature shoe.
I had a pair of Jeters.
That you, but
so
like,
did I.
Yeah,
actually,
I had a pair of jeans.
Really?
Yeah.
That you would wear today?
I did wear. I wore them. They were like my school. They were like some. Yeah.
I think my one season playing baseball, I had.
No, but like as like a sneaker.
Yeah, no, I had a pair.
I'm talking about like Jordan cleats that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, why aren't baseball players getting signature sneakers?
Because no one cares.
No one's as cool as Ken Griffey Jr.
Acuna's not.
Ronald Acuna is great, and this is where I want to get to in this baseball conversation that we didn't plan on. This is good.
We can go there.
We're in the middle of baseball.
Yeah.
That Ronald Acuna is all of his personality is the way he plays baseball.
Yep.
He could be just as good, getting the exact same stats, and if you turn down his volume, you wouldn't know who he is.
He'd be Mike Trout.
Exactly. But you turn up the volume, and you're like, okay, I get a sense of. I don't need you to talk to me.
Yeah.
You talk all you want on the field, and like I like it.
The field does all the talking.
Now there are other players who just fundamentally don't, and I think that. Again, athletes want to be. This is a general sports take.
Yeah.
Athletes want to be athletes. They don't want to be characters in stories. And so they hide behind, I don't want to do interviews. I don't want to do these things. I want to show up. I want to do the thing. And then I want to leave, which I understand their perspective on that. But I think these leagues have to come to them and say, we need to partner together to make you celebrities, not athletes. And make people fall in love with you the way they fall in love with musicians. And Ronald Acuna is somebody who he doesn't have to talk a lot because he is so excellent and he is so loud, but he is rare to be that good and to emote that much as he plays. Yeah. He's a little bit of like a Des Bryant where you're like, I don't ever need to hear you talk. You speak with the way you play the game. But again, you need a much wider spectrum than that to like create fans, and baseball in particular is not creating fans of people, and that's a problem. And to that degree, there's less and less people like they're playing baseball. Think about your high school. Who, like every girl in every high school goes and watches football.
Oh yeah.
When I was in high school, I didn't attend one single baseball game.
You don't know where they play half the time. Like what field do they play on? If you don't have it on campus.
So the best athletes in the school also played baseball, but no one went and watched.
No.
Yeah. And so it's how does baseball become the cool sport that people want to watch?
I will say one thing that's going to help them a lot that MLB had nothing to do with is the backyard baseball is coming back.
What does that mean?
You think
that means it's going to get kids playing baseball video games again?
Oh.
And learning.
I was like, backyard baseball is a video game.
Yeah, backyard baseball, the video. Did you not play it growing up? Okay. Anyway, let's stay in the world of kind of like the personality, the marketing.
Yeah.
Because Oklahoma State started putting QR codes on the back.
Oh, I played that
helmets.
game. I for sure played that game.
Yeah, Pablo Sanchez, one of the greatest fictional athletes of all time, if not the greatest fictional athlete of all time.
The fact that you knew his name just off the rip.
Oh, he was on all of them. We had backyard baseball, and backyard football, and he was fantastic in both of them.